Hello out there, and welcome to Two Dudes on the Radio.
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Eddie Boyce.
And I'm Shaner.
There we go, we did it.
We did it good.
We did it good.
Yeah.
Finally for the YouTube record.
We didn't practice that at all. That was...
No, we definitely didn't practice
totally ad-libbed.
I mean, we've messed it up every single time we've put an episode on YouTube, but we finally got it this time.
Yeah, we're professionals here.
At this point, yeah, we've done this is our 6th episode.
Is it?
Yeah, 6.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're basically professionals.
We're professionals now, you know?
Pretty much. Oh, let me make sure my recording device is on airplane mode so it doesn't stop the recording and then I have to redo the whole thing. And that'd be very sad.
Yeah, we're counting on getting this episode right this time. Are our microphones on?
Yeah, they're on.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
All right, so if you're not already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook where I've been kind of lazy the last couple of weeks of posting, but I'm...
We want your feedback. Give us your feedback.
Yeah, feedback.
We keep asking for feedback and barely anyone gives us any.
Well, I mean...
We know you're out there. We know you're listening. Give us your feedback.
People will, text us, personally, because it's usually our friends and family that watch us. And they'll tell us, but, don't post. So it's okay. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared of us.
I mean, listen, we're putting ourselves on the radio / YouTube, so just... Yeah. Be a day oneer. And
even if your feedback is just, hey, good job, or a hey, talk about something else.
Yeah,
give us anything you want. We will read it. We may not respond to it. If you're being obsessively cruel, we might ignore it, but we'll read it.
And that's what matters.
That's the Ed and Shaner guarantee. We will read your feedback. You can count on that. I may cry just a little bit, but I'll read it.
Do you cry a lot, Shaner?
Yeah, it depends. Sad movie scenes.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's understandable. All right.
Specifically dogs.
Specifically
sad dog movie scenes. Man, there's nothing like a sad dog movie scene.
Okay.
Anyways.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I hate sad dog movie scenes.
Okay.
Marley and Me was a terrible thing.
So I don't like dog movies.
I'm not usually, I don't seek out dog movies,
right.
But if my family watches a dog movie and it's got a sad dog scene, man, it's an emotional thing.
All right. Yeah, I mean, okay. Cool. Oh, do you want to explain what's going on with your voice there?
Oh, yeah. So if my voice sounds weird, I've spent the last weekend scaring people at a haunted house where I screamed every 5 minutes because there was a lot of people. So if my voice sounds weird, I do not have COVID. I just do not have a voice. So if I sound any different, that's why. If I sound deeper and more mysterious, it's a product of screaming. So if you ever need your voice to be deeper, go scream at random people for 8 consecutive hours and 2 nights.
This is probably the worst thing for a voice right now, is talking on this.
Nah, it's great. I can talk normally. If I start screaming, throw something at me.
I have a coffee. It's glass coffee mug. I can throw that.
Yeah, throw that. If I start screaming, which I doubt I could, it'd probably come off more like...
Okay, don't ruin your voice. We're not even 5 minutes in.
All right, let's start up these segments.
Let's start with the segment with your questions, where we answer your questions. Now, before we jump into this week's segments, this week's question, we have to clarify something we said about the previous question about if roads were rivers. Well, wait, what was the question? It was what would happen if roads were rivers?
If roads were rivers, what would happen? Yeah.
So someone pointed out to Shaner that, hey, would the rivers actually be flooded and turn into rivers, or would the rivers turn into canals pretty much? So the roads would the level of the roads go down 6 feet, 7 feet, and then become a canal. Which we were assuming a canal because there's roads on mountains. So how would you flood?
Yeah, if your road on a mountain is flooded and it's not turned into a canal, you've got more problems than roads turning to rivers. If the water level's that high.
God lied.
So anyways, yeah, that's a clarification. The roads, we believe, turn into canals.
Yeah.
That's what we were basing it off of.
Yes. Okay. So moving on to this week's. Shaner, this might be best is a relative term, but to me, this is the best question that we've received ever. All right.
Let's hear it.
I had to modify a little bit because it was asking a bit much at first, but here we go. Courtesy of my brother Zach, sorry.
Hey, I also have a brother Zach.
Well, it's Zach. His full name's Zachariah.
That's cool.
So everyone says we call him Zach, but
Zach, if you're listening, I love your name. It's cool.
There you go.
Unique.
So his question is, give us 3 reasons why you go into a stranger's car if they offered you candy.
Ooh. 3 reasons why I would get into a stranger's car.
And I'm not going to lie. I read this. He texted me this. And I had just woken up from a nap. And I read this. And I didn't read the first half. I read the second half, which was reasons why you would get in a stranger's car for candy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is my brother doing? Is he trying to justify this to me? But no, it's okay.
3 reasons, huh?
3 reasons. He originally said 10, but I don't think there are 10 reasons.
10 reasons? I don't think I can barely think of 3. Give me a second.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
We might shorten it to 2 or 1, but
that would depend on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I would say one good reason is if you feel you are in control of the situation enough, you could stop this man from luring anyone else into his car.
Okay, so kind of like a hero type scenario.
Yeah, if you get into the car,
okay,
if you feel you could stop this man from offering unable people candy, like children.
Okay.
Like, obviously, if you get offered candy, this guy's a little messed up. Like, were I going to be luring people into my car with candy, I would target children and not, like,
probably
grown men like us. Grown men. You can't see my quotation marks.
I don't know how grown we are. Maybe physically, but I don't know.
Yeah, so, not that I would, but if I were, I wouldn't target older people.
Yeah.
I would target children. So, if someone targeted me and offered me candy, I feel like I would get into their car to stop them from abducting children.
Okay.
As a realistic reason.
That's a realistic reason. Now, counter situation, all right? You're walking down the street. Right? Car pulls down right side of you. It's a nicer car. Maybe like we'll go with the BMW. Ooh. Okay? Nothing like shady. It's nice black BMW, car. Okay? And he's down, and the window rolls down. And there's this guy or woman. Gender doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was going to say, man.
Well, I don't
Women
know.
can abduct children, too.
I just want to point out.
Don't be sexist. Over here thinking only men can abduct children into their cars with candy.
No, that's not where I'm going.
Get your mind out of the 1900s.
So, no. So this person rolls on and he's like, hey, excuse me, can I talk with you for a second? And you're like, well, this is kind of weird, but okay. So you can walk over a second. I am with a candy company named we'll go with Palmer, which if you don't know Palmer, they like do chocolates and stuff.
I do love chocolates.
Yeah, chocolates. So Palmer, it's like I work for Palmer, and I am currently
taste
what
testing.
excuse? Well, yeah, I'm touring around the United States and giving people a taste test of our new chocolate products as like a marketing / PR thing. It's research. You can see next to him is like a camera guy with a camera.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he starts like poking out his camera and stuff. So you're being recorded. Which in PA they have to ask you if you want to be recorded or not. So FYI. But ignoring that fact, so you're being recorded, and he asks this: do you say yes? Would you say no?
I feel like if Palmer Candy uses that as their marketing technique, they need a better marketing guy.
I mean, yeah, it's very unconventional.
Like, hey, I'm with Palmer Candy. Get into my big white van.
Well, no.
This is a marketing promotion.
He didn't say get in the van. He just said, come taste test candy. I'm just saying, at that moment in my story, would you say yes or no?
See, that's a hard question, because I feel like I'd be a little weirded out.
Oh, yeah.
If, like, I was just walking down the street and a BMW pulled up and a guy leaned out with a camera, I was like, hey, I'm with a chocolate company. I'm tasting...
Well, it's with the second guy. One guy's the camera, the other guy
either way, if they lean out and they're like, hey, we're taste testing chocolate, come get one from my BMW, I'd be a little weirded out.
I mean, yeah.
But if I felt it looked official enough, I might go for it.
Okay. I mean, I would ask for, like, identification. Like, hey, prove that you're with Palmer, and we'll talk, maybe. And if they said yes, and, like... I don't know, like, still, though. Because you could, like, come up with something.
Where do we get into the getting into the car part?
Well, then after you're like, oh, well, we need to take you to this spot. So with everyone else that we've picked up.
That just got incredibly more sketchy. You just went from kind of sketchy and a little suspicious to we need to take you to a secondary location with everyone else we picked up to taste the chocolate.
No, you're right. Okay. So... Throw that part out. How about it says, hey, on this day you need to come to this location and test this out. We can come pick you up if you want, or you could drive yourself.
That still seems kind of sketchy. Like, I feel like there's no way they could get this by without being sketchy. Like, I'm not blaming you for the way you're saying it. I'm saying
I'm trying to make
there's
this
no
like...
way you can say this that it doesn't sound sketchy.
Okay.
Like, here, come get some chocolate in the secondary location. We can drive you if you want. Wink, wink. It's a warehouse. Wink, wink.
I was trying to make this sound better, and it didn't
We're
work
going to give
out.
you some chocolate. Wink, wink.
Okay.
It's
Crap.
not a knife. Wink, wink.
Okay, so other situation, right? Let's just say that this totally new situation. We'll even do the white van situation. All right, guy pulls up with a white van. He's like, "Hey, you want some candy? You want? I have some candy if you want to come in." Which again is weird for like 20-year-old girls.
is.
Let's just imagine we're children though, just for this instant.
Okay, it's not hard.
Now you see that there's, you're gonna see there's one guy driving. Okay, you don't see anyone else in the van, from what you can see. And he opens the door and you see candy on the chair. All right, he's like, "Oh, come and get candy." Would you try and grab the candy and then run?
No.
Okay.
I mean, big white van equals suspicious. I don't care who you are.
Okay.
Like, if he threw the candy at me, I might eat it. But the fact that you have to get anywhere near the van to grab the candy, honest or not, that's just creepy. I mean, all it takes is 3 seconds and he's got your wrist and yanked you into the van.
Uh-huh.
So, like, no. I would not grab the candy, I don't think.
You don't think? Okay. I'm trying to think of situations where it might be okay.
I don't think there are. Any situation where a stranger offers you something and you have to get anywhere near their vehicle is sketchy. I cannot think of a single instance where that would appear non-sketchy, unless it were something like an ice cream truck. Like, an ice cream truck is the one instance where you can go up and get a snack from a stranger in their vehicle.
Yeah.
But even then...
Yeah, just like a normal car is just sketchy. If it's like a truck or a car made specifically...
Even if it's a nice car, like used like a BMW, it's still kind of sketchy. Normal people don't go around offering children snacks out of their car.
No.
Unless it's a parade. So, okay.
Okay.
Reason number 2. A parade. If there was a car driving down the street and you would get in to get the candy and you were in a parade, I would feel that's less sketchy. So far we have saving other children from being kidnapped, a parade. If we can come up with one more reason, we can actually answer this question.
Okay.
We need one more reason I would get into a stranger's car for candy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like...
Wait, did it say a stranger?
Yes, a stranger.
Okay.
He specifically said a stranger.
Okay.
Okay, okay, let's broaden the question a little bit. Would you go into a stranger's car if they offered you anything? Like, if there was anything that would lure you into a car, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Kind of deviating off of the path here.
Yeah, but I can't think of anything that would justify that. Like, no matter what you get offered, if it's a stranger offering you a car, there's like a 95% chance you're going to get kidnapped, and then an 80% chance you're going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the statistics, there's no good way to look at this. So I'm going to say we can only come up with 2 reasons.
Okay, all right. Well, no, we got a couple minutes. Let's try and think of something. I don't know anything.
I can't think of any more reasons. Parade and
saving other children.
Saving children are the 2 reasons I would say I would get candy from a car. Other than that, I got nothing. Unless it's maybe like Willy Wonka or something.
You see Willy Wonka drive up to you in a car, you have other issues going around.
Yeah, if Willy Wonka comes up to you in a car, you better wonder what you're on.
If someone slipped you like LSDs in your coffee or whatever.
Ooh, Willy Wonka. And meanwhile, some guy's just sitting there with BMW, like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have nothing. Yeah. I can't. Like, there was someone I was
going to make a West Waynesburg joke there, but...
I mean...
Anyways, moving on before people get mad.
Sorry, we can't get to 3. I can't think of any other reason.
2 reasons is good, though.
I think that's good. I was expecting us to reach, like, 1 and, like, be able not to do
So we have 2 reasons. So, Zach... Did I pronounce it right? Zach?
Zach, yeah. Z-E-C-H.
Yeah, so. Okay, Zach. We have 2 reasons. There you go.
If any of y'all think of a reason, put it in the comments, because I
oh, wait, 3 reasons. Stupidity.
Oh, yeah, you're
If
right.
you're stupid
Stupidity.
enough,
Yeah, there you go.
You climb into that car. If you haven't been told in every elementary school class and every
Okay, yeah.
TV PSA not to get into strangers' cars for candy, that's it. Stupidity. So we have 3 reasons.
There. Okay.
We
Another
get it.
situation, since we brought up stupidity. What if you're homeless and haven't eaten anything in almost 2 days and you're starving? Would you still do it?
For candy, probably not. Again, 95% chance you're going to die.
Yeah.
80
Yeah, that's
or
a dumb
95%
question,
chance you're getting kidnapped. 80% you die.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
No, you're right. I'm grasping for straws at this point.
We got 3 reasons.
Let's go with it.
Let's quit while we're ahead.
All right. If you have any answers for this question, let us know in the comments in YouTube. And if you're watching live, go on YouTube and watch or rewatch or comment on our episodes.
If you're listening live, then
Congrats on you. Like,
text a friend
text a friend.
and tell them one reason you get into a stranger's car for candy.
Yeah, that'll
No
be great.
context,
That's
just
a great
text them.
conversation starter.
It is.
Okay, so our next segment is a hole in the wall. Yeah, a hole, in the wall. Where we look at a weird. Well, I look at a weird business and I tell you all about it. So Shaner, how do you feel about mushrooms?
I like mushrooms.
You like mushrooms?
I like mushrooms.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
I do not like mushrooms. They
Really?
taste weird to me.
I like a good mushroom and like a stroganoff or over my steaks.
Okay. I can understand why people like them, but for me, it's just
Is it the texture or the taste? There's a difference.
it's the
there.
taste. Well,
The
I guess
texture,
it's,
like
it's a
that
little
rubbery-
of both. It's like
Okay.
a little of both.
Okay, that's fair.
I guess the same reason is why I really because I'll tolerate. No, I don't. Anyways, do you like coffee?
I do. I love coffee.
Do you like hot chocolate?
I could eat hot chocolate. It's not my favorite thing, but I like hot chocolate enough.
All right. Do you like eating dietary supplements?
Not something I particularly like, but something I could do.
Okay. Have you ever done that, like the powder and stuff?
No,
No, you've never done that. Okay.
never been reason to.
You know what? You know what has all 4 of those things in common?
This is a concerning statement.
That's actually a good question because I don't actually. Hold on. It's I wrote down all my note. There you go. Is Four Sigmatic a company that puts literally mushrooms in it, in not everything, but in those other 3 things?
This seems weird.
No, it's not weird. Just let me go through
Hit
it.
me.
So the company is called Four Sigmatic, which it actually is. Four Sigmatic stands for 4 standard deviations, which apparently there's like a scale. So think of like not a scale. It's like a, how do I put it? Think of like a bar graph. Okay.
A graph, okay.
Think like a bar graph. Okay.
I'm imagining a graph.
And each food has a placement on this bar graph, from less nutrients to the most nutrients.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm
And
following
it has
you.
to do with like density and how much nutrients is in like
Packed into it.
each
Yeah, I'm
food,
following you.
Okay. So like 4 standard deviations food wise is like the best of the best. That's
Okay.
like, I think it's like 100 level. Like you can't get more nutrients than what the foods you got there.
This is a lot of math, but go on.
I haven't even said like 2 plus 2. I haven't seen any equations.
Graphs are math.
Okay, fine. Bar graph. But anyways, so like obviously on the ends like less nutritional, more nutritional. There's like lower, and then in the middle is like where it kind of bunches up, and like most foods are.
Okay.
But there's only 100 foods that are in this 4 standard deviations list.
And that's the highest category.
That's like the highest of the highest category.
Okay.
And there's only 100 foods out in the entire world that apparently fit into that. And Four Sigmatic takes a few of those foods and makes them into drinks per se. All right?
Ooh, okay.
So before we get into the products, I'm going to tell you a little about this place and about this company. All right, so their slogan, I think it's their slogan, making nature's best foods easier to enjoy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm following.
Their intro, like their initial starter intro, when you go into like their learn page, it all started in Finland,
Okay.
where saunas outnumber cars and people compete in things like swamp soccer and mobile phone throwing.
Mobile phone throwing.
Yeah, seriously, we have world championships for this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't know
interested.
that. Yeah, that in of itself is a whole other episode
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
I might have to return to that. But anyways, that's kind of the company. So it's a bunch of these Finnish. Is that how you say?
Finnish.
Yeah, Finnish. Okay, a bunch of these Finnish guys that made this company. Okay. there's the term, most nutrient dense. That's what I said. Like, so these top 100 foods are like the most nutrient dense in the world. All right?
That makes sense.
Some of them are really common, like coconuts,
Okay.
green tea, hemp. I don't know how you eat hemp, but apparently you can.
Apparently.
Coffee.
Okay.
And cacao
That's a good
beans.
sign.
There you go. And then you got some mushrooms like cordyceps and ashwagandha. I hope I said that right. Which is pretty much Indian ginseng. It's actually a leaf. All right. So their whole thing is like producing like these really nutrient dense things. Okay. And so they have Oh, by the way, they're based in like 65 countries. So this is no joke. Like,
this is
legit.
a big company. Okay.
Pretty big, legit. So you can shop under two different categories: benefit or product. Okay. So in benefit, you can go think, defend, which I think is like defending yourself from like illnesses and stuff, so your body fight stuff, and chill. So think, defend, chill. Right?
So those are the three things it can do for you.
The benefits.
Okay.
Right? And then the product is coffee, protein, and cacao, or hot chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's pretty much the.
Those are three weird products. Like, of everything they picked, it was like hot chocolate, coffee, mushrooms.
Well, their whole let me. So their whole shtick is like, what you should be putting into your body in like the morning or at night should be a lot more healthier than like sugar rushes or caffeine crashes or whatever they said. But so they wanted like more healthy alternatives. That's basically where they're going with this.
Okay, they lost me a little bit.
With what?
With like healthy alternatives to coffee. Like, it's coffee.
I mean, it is.
Are they putting the mushrooms in the coffee?
Yes.
Okay, you lost me a little.
Okay.
I'd be curious to try it.
Yes. Now, it's not all mushrooms, but for instance, ashwagandha or Indian ginseng. That's like a leaf.
Okay.
Like Indian ginseng, I think. I think it's a leaf. It's a plant.
Right.
I'll go with that. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of their products have mushrooms in them. All right. And it's for health reasons, and so you get more nutrients in your body.
Okay.
So that's the whole point of it. All right. It swears that their what was their stat? It was 20,000 reviews say that none of their products taste like mushrooms.
Okay.
Or whatever the addition is.
20,000. That's a good.
Right?
That's a good.
Yeah.
Chunk.
Good chunk. All right. I mean, they're in 65 countries, so I mean, there's a lot of people out there that like mushrooms in their food, or they are what they say. So we'll go through some of these products. I'll go through each category a little bit. So with coffee, they don't have a whole lot of products, but what they have is interesting. So they have different types of coffee, either with chaga, lion's mane, which are two mushrooms.
Okay.
Okay. So they have those two, and they also have coffee with probiotics. Probiotics, yes.
Okay. How do they get the mushrooms in the coffee?
I didn't see that. That's a good question.
I'm really confused about it.
They
Do they
didn't
powder the
explain
mushrooms and sprinkle them in, or do they brew the coffee through the mushroom like a coffee filter?
I don't know. They didn't explain that in their Learn page. So
You just like get your cup of coffee and there's a mushroom sticking out of it? You know?
no, there's no mushrooms in it. It's, I think, because it comes in like, some of them come in like coffee bags, so I'm assuming there's coffee beans in it. So I'm assuming that they roast it with mushrooms, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Because it's not like you order like a cup of coffee.
This seems really confusing.
It's like coffee beans, or maybe it's like a powder. I don't know. They didn't explain it very well, or I didn't do enough digging.
I'm going to say they didn't explain it well because it doesn't seem like they know what they're talking about.
I mean, I didn't look beyond their website, and they didn't explain it in their Learn Me page. And actually,
They seem a little sketchy. Like,
let me pull it up.
Yeah, we want healthy products. Mushroom coffee.
Four Sigmatic.
Probiotic coffee. Mushroom hot chocolate.
Hold on, let me pull up these. I had all my notes.
Mushrooms.
They don't actually sell mushrooms.
Well, then, what's the point? It's like, here's mushroom everything else. Oh, can I get some mushrooms? No, get some mushroom coffee.
It's ground coffee. That's what it is.
So are there mushrooms
Or there's
ground up?
there's like mushroom coffee mix. So it's not actually coffee beans. So, sorry, what?
So do they mix the mushroom grounds in with the coffee grounds?
Maybe, I guess.
This seems like a waste of time product-wise. Like, their company seems like a waste of valuable mushrooms. Like, just get some dietary supplements.
I mean, if
Drink
you like
your
coffee in
coffee.
the morning, that's the way. Well, the thing is, like, they don't want like the really, I don't say bad coffee, but like the coffee that like kind of gives you a rush and then you stop. It's supposed to give you like an easier energy like levels,
This
so it's
just
not
seems
just a
odd.
spike. So you don't have that midday crash.
And mushrooms accomplish this.
In their coffee, yeah, apparently.
I'm wondering what kind of mushrooms they were on when they invented this company.
Those Finnish mushrooms.
Yeah,
man.
those Finnish mushrooms, man.
Yeah.
They're like, mushrooms are good. Coffee's good.
Bam.
What if we put them together? And everyone else was too high. And they were like,
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And now they're selling in 65 countries.
Yeah, like,
I mean-
obviously, I want to say they're doing something right, but I also know they probably aren't.
I mean, I don't.
Never once have I
have
been
no
eating
idea.
a steak with mushrooms and gone like, man, if this were in a liquid form, I'd be good to go. You mix in a little coffee with that,
Well, you probably weren't eating the right mushrooms.
I'd be good to face the day.
Because what are the most popular, like Porcella or whatever?
Portobello?
Yeah, Portobello. Portobella's not on the 100 Sigma list.
Darn, I
think.
mean, those are the best kind of mushrooms.
Yeah, so it's not. It's like these weird things, like lion's mane and what was the other one? Chaga.
That's a good point, though. How did they come up with this? Did it say?
Well, apparently it's a whole science. So like there was already research on this already. They just got it from other people, and they did some
I
studies
have to
on
imagine
the
they
road
weren't
and got some
fully
studies
in
from
the
other
right mind
people.
when they came up with this. Like,
I mean,
there had to have been some mushrooms involved, if you know what I mean. Like, there's no way you're just sitting there thinking, man, this coffee is a darn good cup of coffee. And he's sitting there eating lion's mane mushrooms. He's like, man, this is a good mushroom, but it just takes too much time to consume both. And I just get this spike from my coffee, but this mushroom makes it last longer. He's like, oh, I dropped my mushroom in my coffee. And then, like, the sunbeam comes down on his head, and he's like, what an idea. Guys,
boys, I have an idea.
get me a sponsor. And more mushrooms. And more coffee.
Wow, you're really hating on this product.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I
to
haven't
me.
gotten to like the protein or cacao yet.
It just seems like it's going to be the same thing. Just take whatever product you want, add mushrooms.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah.
hot
that's pretty
chocolate,
much
really,
it.
though? Like,
Let me get through the rest.
Yeah, okay.
We're only on coffee, okay? So, like I said, coffee with the chaga and lion's mane mushrooms, probiotics, and then the ashwagandha. Oh, hold on, I really bought it. Ashwagandha,
ashwagandha.
aka Indian ginseng. All right, and then the protein, aka dietary supplements. There's four flavors: creamy cacao, sweet vanilla, peanut butter, and then unflavored.
All of those
Now, they
sound terrible if you're making them with mushrooms. Maybe I'm not a
sure
mushroom
it's like
expert.
a mix. I'm sure it's more like they have. Actually, I don't know. I can't even say. They didn't say like what mushrooms were in these products. They just.
Go eat a mushroom and take your dietary supplements and move on.
I mean,
Like, never once have I thought, man, if there was a product that had it all, mushrooms and dietary supplements, I am good to go.
you're
Face the
hating
day.
on this so much.
It just doesn't make any sense. I hate on what I don't understand and what doesn't make any sense.
I mean, all right. It's your thing. All right.
It's just, again, never once have I thought to combine those two because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but this is 2020, man.
This company
do
wasn't
whatever you
started in
want.
2020.
No, it wasn't. It started.
Exactly.
That's actually a good question. When did this start?
Probably during like the 1970s or 80s.
No, it was more recent than that. Boobadoo.
Just go to Walmart, buy some dietary supplements, move on with your life. You don't need special mushroom dietary supplements from Finland. I'm no doctor.
Well, the mushrooms come from all over the world. They also have a mushroom academy, which I don't know what that is, but
A mushroom academy.
I don't know what it's about. I don't want to.
Is this where we are in the world? Mushroom-based companies.
I don't.
Can I become a
It doesn't
doctorate of
say.
mushrooms? Can I become a professor of mushrooms?
All right. Well.
Yes, I've got my
It doesn't
bachelor's in children's ministry studies, but I've got my doctorate in mushroom studies. I'm good to go. Like, send me to mushroom seminary.
All right. It doesn't say they must have moved to the U.S. because they're U.S. based now. It doesn't say when they were founded, or at least actually, hold on.
They're probably too concerned to say.
Four
Like,
Sigmatic founded, I Come on, internet.
This is something
Finnish
else.
American food and beverages company specializes. 2012.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, 2012 was a weird enough year. They probably thought the world was ending, so what the heck? Let's make this. And then it took off, and none of them can stop now because they're getting so much money.
I mean, hey, if it works, man.
Dude, the world's ending. Okay. What are we going to do?
All right, we got to continue because we're already having
Make a company.
Let me finish with this, okay? So cacao, they have two different types. It's just regular cacao, but they start with reishi, I'm hoping to say that, and cordyceps mushrooms, okay? Two different ones, reishi and cordyceps mushrooms, all right? And then they also have other products. So with, like, the benefits, they have, like, those different products kind of, like, put within...
Right. I get the benefits section. That makes sense to me.
The other products that weren't mentioned, there's Adaptogen Focus with lion's mane mushroom. So think like 5-hour energy with lion's mane mushroom. So you're being healthy as you drink it to your face.
Just go drink a 5-hour energy and eat a mushroom.
And I think we might have to buy this for the show, but there's mushroom chocolate.
Mushroom chocolate.
Which is actually sold out, so I couldn't buy it.
You could probably find that cheaper than coming from Finland.
Well, it's their American Finland, so I'm sure they have like places in both. So
I will not order anything from this company. I do not support them.
Wow, you were really all right.
If you're out there and you're listening to this and you run 4 ginseng or whatever you pronounce it as,
4-sigmatic,
whatever, why? Why are you like this?
Wow. I'm surprised how much you dislike this idea.
It just doesn't make any sense.
All right. I mean, we live in Greene County.
Yeah, and you know what a Greene County person's never thought of? Mushrooms in coffee.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
All right, well, let me finish this off. If you are interested, you can buy individual products or buy a membership, which is kind of like a Loot Crate every week. Or not every week, sorry, every month. They have benefits like 25% off, 20% off every order, free shipping, free examples, and some other stuff.
Or you could go to Walmart, buy some coffee, buy some dietary supplements and some chocolate, take it home, and use all that money you saved to do something actually productive.
I mean, I don't know. I've never really been into this whole the health craze. I still eat ramen and cereal.
Now, you know what ramen would go good with? Mushrooms. You know what doesn't go good with mushrooms? Coffee, chocolate, dietary supplements.
All right. You make your point.
Moving on.
All right, moving on.
Student of the week.
If you're interested, let us know. Yeah, student of the week is Cindy Wetzel.
Good job, Cindy.
Good job, Cindy.
I hope you're listening. If you're not, well, too bad.
I don't blame you.
So, this week on the Bible, Spark Notes edition, we're going to be talking about arson.
Spark Notes version.
Version. We'll keep it consistent.
Well, no, but it's always like NIV version or the NSV
Spark Notes version. We're going to be talking about arson.
Sorry. Wait, excuse me?
Arson.
You know, my wife keeps making jokes about arson, and I get sometimes concerned.
You know, arson.
Okay, continue.
So, let me ask you this question.
Answer.
Were you going to burn down a field, how would you do it? I'm not plotting a crime here.
No, I think I know where you're going with this. But with this story, and I'll hold it to myself for the audience, but if I were going to burn a field, I'd wait till the driest part of the season and just take some gasoline, get a match, and just chuck it in there, and it'll set ablaze.
Exactly. It's simple, right?
Right.
It's a crop field. It's going to get dry. I work in a cornfield right now, and I can tell you, they don't even want us smoking because we might set the cornfield on fire. That's how dry fields get.
Right, yeah.
Now, were you to burn down a field, would you think about using foxes?
I thought this was where you were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foxes.
It's actually an ingenious idea. Sorry, I'll stop. You go ahead and tell the story.
Okay. So this is the story. It's part of a very long story about Samson. Everyone knows the story of Samson.
Long hair.
Strong
dude.
He murdered Philistines. He was the guy. He was the hero of the Old Testament. You know, he defeated a whole bunch of Philistines with a jawbone of a donkey, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, this guy did all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, he gets married at one point. This is important to the story. He gets married, and then through a whole bunch of stories, which I'm not going to go into because that's not the point of today, his wife's dad, his father-in-law, gives his wife to Samson's friend. And Samson comes back to try to find his wife, and make things right. And Samson's dad is like, hey, I thought you were angry with her, so I gave her to somebody else. But hey, look at her younger sister. She's pretty attractive, right? And Samson, he gets pretty angry. And he's going to go and burn down all these crops because of it. Now, what he does in his whatever genius mindset, maybe he was on mushrooms. I don't know. It says, no, I'm reading from the NASB. I'm preemptively answering before you ask.
There you go.
The NASB edition.
Version.
Now, Samson went and caught 300 foxes.
300?
300 foxes. That in of itself...
I thought it was like one.
It's 300.
How do you have time to catch 300 foxes?
I don't know, man. But we'll get back to that. We'll talk about... Let's read through it first. He went and got 300 foxes and took torches and turned the foxes' tails, tail to tail, and put one torch in the middle between two tails. Then, when he had set fire to the torches, he released the foxes into the standing grain of the Philistines, thus burning up both the shocks and the standing grain, along with the vineyards and the groves. So it's a short text, but there's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So first off, he had to come up with this idea. This wasn't your standard method of burning things down.
I mean, I guess.
He went out and he was like, what's the best way to do this? And he's racking his brain and he goes, foxes. 300 of them. I'm going to go get some. Now, do you think about foxes being native to this area? This is the biblical Old Testament.
I mean, this area?
Not this area. Like biblical Old Testament, Israel.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but I just never thought about it.
Yeah, it's such a weird concept.
Yeah.
Foxes.
They also have bears there. Did you know that? I didn't know they had bears there.
Yeah, remember we talked about bear mauling.
Oh, yeah, right, yes.
One of our better segments.
I had no idea there were bears there, so yeah, sorry.
So, anyways, he goes out and he gathers 300 foxes. Now, catching an animal isn't easy. I don't care how Samson he was. 300 foxes, that's a lot of work.
Keep in mind back then, like, they had to do these sort of things because, like, they were all, like, farmers and stuff. So they knew how to, and they were proficient at it.
But 300?
I don't know how, well, no, 300 is still a lot. That's insane. How many days did it take him to do that? That's my question. And, like, did he do it
It doesn't say. The Bible usually kind of omits how long things take usually, and it just says he did this, and you kind of have to imagine how long it took him. So 300
Well,
foxes.
I'm sure, like, it's kind of an insignificant point, unless it would list that significant. But, like, I'm sure back then, people were like, oh, 300, foxes. Like, I know my one friend George, he caught 100 in, like, 2 weeks.
But you have to consider, even with all the species going extinct now, like, when was the last, like, deer are very indigenous to this area. When was the last time you've seen 300 deer? Like, count how many deer you think you've seen in your life. The number wouldn't even come out to 300. So let's not even get into how long it took him to catch 300 foxes. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that he could find 300 foxes. That's a lot of foxes.
I mean, there's a lot more wilderness back then, though. It's not, like, developed and
even
gentrified.
300, you think?
Stuff. Yeah.
So, anyways,
it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's still a shocking number. The fact that he still went out and did that, but, like, I can believe that I can believe he was able to do that.
But then it gets even crazier, you know?
Right.
Because then his brilliant idea turns to getting the foxes to somehow stay still enough that he can tie their tails together.
Right.
And then he puts 2 foxes together and ties their tails together. And then he puts a torch in between those tails.
Which is kind of rude.
Now, let's also realize that's 150 torches. That's a lot of torches.
That's a lot of torches.
This wasn't just acting out of anger and going out and suddenly, torching your friend's fields. This was meditated. This took a while.
Yeah.
I mean, a torch is not hard to make, but it's time consuming. Mm-hmm. You have to wrap a cloth around the stick. You have to soak that. 150 of these things. And he ties them between 2 foxtails, and then he lets all 150 groups of them go out and torch the fields.
I think it's a genius move. For what he was trying to do, I think he did it very well.
It's just, maybe there's some symbolism in there. It's like the bear mauling, I
don't think it is. It might be something that he heard from somewhere else, and he thought, oh, yes, this'll do it.
But still, that had to be thought up.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Like, how do you get foxes to stay still enough to tie their tails? You can't just hold them in place like a cat, If you have a wild cat,
this is
the
strongest man on Earth. Maybe possibly ever.
Yeah, but I don't care how strong you are. You've got 2 hands.
Yeah.
And you have to keep the foxes in a place, tie their tails together without them, A, scratching you, B, flopping all over the place like wild maniacs. Like, you ever tried touching a cat's tail? They go nuts. Imagine a wild fox if he tried to tie his tail together with another fox.
Probably, like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he did it with some logical method. Oh, like he tied it up, or he
Maybe.
He
It's
like
just,
a
that
cow.
would take him more time. Can you imagine that? This is how much he wanted to burn these fields.
Which I don't know why you take it out on the Philistines for something that happened.
I think they were Philistines.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Gotcha.
pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure his wife was a Philistine and her family was Philistines.
This was before Delilah, right?
The story's complicated. I don't even know. That's not what's important. What's
Okay,
important
alright.
is the foxes.
You're right. The foxes.
So, and it works somehow. The foxes don't run
Yeah.
off the other direction. They all get in the field and they burn everything down.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty.
It's an incredible story, and only because this shouldn't happen. You know?
Shouldn't as in like, oh, people shouldn't do this, or shouldn't as in, oh, that shouldn't have worked.
Both.
I don't know. I think it was a really smart idea. Like, we all know fields are dry, and you can set field and fire to something, and they can run loose. Like,
Yeah,
I
why
thought
did
it
you
was
just
really
throw
smart.
a torch into the field, though? Like, it would have spread.
Well, he wanted like mass destruction.
I feel like you're more going for chaos if you catch
That
300
too.
foxes.
Yes, mass chaos. That's what he was going for.
It just seems like such an odd thing to do, you know?
I mean, yeah.
It seems like the worst way you could have done it.
I don't think so. I think it was smart.
Well, let's agree to disagree.
Because, like, he could have gotten away with it then. Because, like, oh, how'd these foxes get their... I mean, I'm sure... Like, someone should have noticed him doing that. I mean, how do you
Yeah.
hide something like that?
Well, how do you
But
stop him? That's the better question.
That's the other thing. You can't stop him.
Like, you're out there and
You
you're like,
can't
hey,
stop him. You
hey,
can't
guys,
catch him from doing it unless you, like...
Samson's out there. He's got about 50 foxes now. I don't know what he's doing with them, but he's also gathering sticks, oil, and cloth. Should he be concerned? He's like, no, what's he got to do with 50 foxes and some cloth? Like, come on, man. And then you find out. Can you imagine being the Philistines and finding out what's happening? Like,
I know.
you walk outside and you're
oh.
like, what is that noise? What is that racket? Why is everyone screaming?
Why is there... Oh.
Why are there two foxes tied together with a torch between their tails? Why are my fields on fire? Like, that must have been the ultimate, like, just shock.
Yeah. He had to get that idea from someone else.
It's such an odd concept.
It is really...
If you're out there and you know the Old Testament and you know about this story, maybe Josh Sumter, tell us, is there any history behind this, or did he just, like, think of this on the fly? Is there any cultural
We have
significance?
a lot of questions for Josh Sumter. We're going to get him with the whole segment with...
Yeah, you know,
Bible
I hope
stories
he answers
answered.
us eventually. He said he told us the other day he listens to our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He subtly
Hi, Josh.
hinted, yeah.
Thanks for watching, or sorry,
So,
listening.
That's pretty cool.
That is really neat. I appreciate that.
So that's what we got for the Bible Spark Notes version.
That was a good story.
Thank you.
I forgot. That's a good one. I was
You
was
seem to know
interested
that.
in that.
You're really good at knowing the stories I'm going to do by
Yeah, I
subtle
know.
hints. I just said, "How do you feel about arson?" You're like, "Oh, I know what we're talking about." That's pretty impressive.
So, yeah, I know. So, like, well, first of all, we're, like, connected. We're
Yeah, you
show
know.
hosts. We got to be connected. But, like, I've read... So, like, when I was young, we had, like, this story Bible type thing. So it was, like...
Please tell me that was in the story Bible.
Huh?
Were there pictures?
It was basically... I don't know if it was the story Bible. I don't even know what the name of it was. But it was basically, like... Think, like, the Bible comic version.
Oh yeah, okay, I can picture
It was
that.
pretty much that, and it took like notable stories and put
Yeah.
like illustrations to it, and that was one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But they got it wrong. There was actually only one fox with the tail
Wow.
with the torch.
Inaccuracies.
Yeah. Now that I think back to it, so
Don't misquote the scriptures. It's
yeah,
not,
I don't know.
You know.
But yeah. So I remember that, and then like I've read through the Bible at least once. This might
That's
be.
impressive. The fact that you remembered I guess it's because it's weird and that's why we picked it.
Yeah, exactly.
But impressive.
But like, how many times is there arson throughout the Bible?
That's a good point.
And for whatever reason, that just popped in my mind. I don't know.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm proud of
impressed.
Now,
All right.
Do you want to talk about the sponsor? Possible sponsor.
Possible
of the week?
sponsor. I'm feeling good about this one.
All right.
This week's possible sponsor is I'm gonna read this so I don't mispronounce it. The Lairdale Medical Company.
Oh,
Now
what's so special about them?
What's special about them is they are one of the largest producers of CPR mannequins.
Okay.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't. That explains why you picked it.
So, Lairdale Medical, if you hear this and you want to sponsor us,
we will teach people how to do CPR
Yeah.
with your mannequin.
we will film ourselves teaching people. You know, we'll do it on air. We'll teach people
Yeah.
with the mannequins on air. You will listen to how to do CPR with the mannequins on air.
I will hug the mannequin all show.
You know what we'll do? If you sponsor us, we'll take one of your mannequins and we'll dress it up and he'll be our mascot.
Oh, yes!
We'll call him...
Jerry.
It's got to have a clever name,
Okay,
though.
okay.
Like, think of a clever name. Like CP Artie. CP Artie. Artie, like Arthur. CP Arthur.
Like Artie. Like an Artie?
No, CP Arthur.
CP
If you sponsor us, we will make CP Arthur a reality. CPR, Arthur, CP Arthur.
Okay.
Get it?
Sorry. I get it.
Big brain time.
Sorry!
CP Arthur.
I failed the big brain moment. Cue. Dun dun to that. Soundboard. I want to get a
Yeah.
sound. If we ever, like, I love soundboards.
We
Sorry.
need a soundboard.
That would be pretty nice.
So yeah, Lairda Medical Company, if you're listening and you want to sponsor us, CP Arthur could be a reality.
That could be reality.
We'd dress him up. We'd talk to him. He'd be a part of the show.
Remember our tree when we roomed together?
Yeah, I love that
What was
tree.
his name?
I don't remember.
We named him something. I don't remember what.
Do you still have him?
No, I had to throw him out because
Shame.
so like when I moved out of that dorm with you, there wasn't enough room to take him. And well, there wasn't enough room to take something, and it had to be him.
First you left me, then the tree.
I know. It was a fake tree, by the way. It wasn't actually a real one.
Ouch.
What was his name?
So many betrayals, I think.
But anyway, we like
Ferdinand,
dressed him
wasn't
up. Yeah, I think it was Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, yeah, Ferdinand.
Yeah, Ferdinand. So we dressed him up like
Rest
every
in
other
peace,
month or week or
Ferdinand.
whatever.
I know how that feels to be thrown away, to be replaced
Stop
by a
it.
wife. I know how that feels, man. Rest in peace.
It wasn't even that. I just didn't have enough room for everything because my
You didn't have
my
enough
parents
room for
didn't
me
bring
either,
back-
did you?
You know what, Sheener? If you ever get stuck and need a place, you can sleep over. Okay?
Man,
Is
I wish
that good
Ferdinand,
enough?
I wish Ferdinand got that level of attention.
Right.
I wish Ferdinand had room to sleep over. Ugh.
We're almost through this show, Shane. Are you going to hijack this entire show because of your hurt feelings?
Oh, did Holly just hijack my roommate?
Yes, she did!
Ouch.
Okay.
We've got to talk about our last segment, and
Yeah.
man, do we have a doozy for you today.
Their segment is, they're called B-movies for a reason.
This week,
Helen Keller versus, is it the Night Wolves?
just Night Wolves.
Yes. Helen Keller versus Night Wolves.
You heard that right. The Helen Keller.
Deaf and blind.
But man, can she destroy Night Wolves.
It's because she can touch and sense.
Now, disclaimer.
Very, very large disclaimer.
We are going to be talking about this movie not spoiler free. There will be spoilers because
We're gonna keep it somewhat spoiler free, but we're gonna mention some spoilers.
we cannot honestly in any way recommend you watch this movie.
Do not. And not because it's bad. It was really funny in some moments,
Yeah.
and it had some really cool things. It's just not morally good at all. So, like, in the first
Yeah.
20 seconds, it showed, like, blurred out porn, and I was not prepared for it.
It wasn't as bad as it's making as it sounds.
No, it's just...
It's just unexpected, and then language.
Yeah, it was so much language.
I've never heard so
and
much language said
innuendos.
in an hour and 15 minutes of movie time.
Yeah, so...
So that's your disclaimer. When we said don't watch Attack of the Killer Donuts,
That's because it was a really bad movie.
that was just because
Don't
it made us
subject
feel
yourself.
sad. This
Yeah,
we're saying
right.
don't watch because you will be insulted in every way possible.
Well, no. Because, like, Jesus Christ Vampire, we'd watch that again, even though it insulted and blasphemed, like, 100 different
No,
times.
I'm saying it insulted our intelligence. this
Oh,
movie.
well,
Like,
yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not comfortable watching something that quote-unquote dirty. Like,
Yeah, it was-
that crossed the line for me.
It wasn't
And
great.
I probably should have stopped, but I couldn't because
That was my
there's some
fault
good
for not
parts of it.
reviewing it as much as I usually do.
No, it's okay. Because I should
But
have stopped.
Let's talk about it because we
Let's
watched
do
it.
this talk.
Let's just let's talk about this.
So, hold on, I gotta pull up my notes here on this movie. So, yeah, first of all, if you do watch, I mean,
Don't watch it.
it's up to you. I can't tell you. I
We
can't
take
force
no
you not
responsibility if you decide that you want to put yourself
to. Yeah,
through this.
it's completely R-rated. Don't watch it.
Completely.
Like, if you're going to choose and watch this, probably, like, close your eyes for the first 20 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, blurred out porn.
It wasn't terrible, but
No, it
don't-
wasn't horrible.
Just
don't
save
sit-
yourself the trouble.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Once you hear the movie creator, which his name is St. James Street James,
Yep. Okay.
once you start hearing his voice, you should be fine.
I'm
Make it
really
up in your eyes.
confused about this movie because St. James Street James talks about himself because there were other movies made by the guy who made this movie, and they're acting like
He's a self-proclaimed genius, by the way.
it's a movie inside a movie, if that makes any sense. Like, the character of St. James Street James is fictional, but the movie starts off with a bit by him talking about making the movie you're about to watch. But
And he
in himself
promotes
is
his
fictional.
male romance book.
Yeah. Wow.
This dude. Like, if
Let's
there was,
ignore the meta St. James Street James.
if you ever
just talk
wanted
about-
a toxic masculinity director, this is the guy for you. What?
We have 8 minutes left. Where
Oh
did
my
the show
gosh.
go?
I know. I mean, hey, like, I don't think anyone's coming in because that's a whole different thing. I think we weren't supposed to be here today, but that's a whole different issue.
We have viewers to entertain.
Dedication.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't hit the table, but
Yeah,
so
stop
I think we
banging
can
the
talk
table.
over a little bit. I mean, I do have a class of 6 3. We both do, but we can talk a little. We'll be
Let's
fine.
just talk about. Let's ignore the meta St. James Street James because that's a whole can of worms. Let's just talk about Helen Keller.
It made the movie funny. It was something unexpected.
was.
It made the movie funty.
But let's just discuss
Sure,
Helen
yeah.
Keller versus Night Wolves because that's what you're here for.
That is what you're
Or
here
not
for. So,
the movie starts off, I would say, with Helen Keller and her family just living in the woods. It's
yeah,
Helen, her sister Anna, her gay brother William, who was my favorite character, and then both of their parents, and they're just living life, just doing stuff, and they
Now,
get.
before we continue, sorry, just
Oh, go ahead.
just for the picture of this, the time period is very messed up in this
It
movie
is.
because it's not set. It's like you took
Yeah, I
like
should've
three
talked about
different
that.
time. No, that's okay. 3 different time periods mushed together. Oops.
Yeah,
Mushed
this
together,
isn't Helen
okay?
Keller in like World War II time period.
No. This is like This is like 1800s
It's
mixed
1900.
with.
Well, the movie takes place in
Sorry,
1900s.
yes, they claim it takes place in the 20th century, but it has like 18th century clothing in one spot. It
Yeah.
has like 1990, not 1990s, 1960s diner. It
Yeah.
has like, what else? I'm not
It's
even
just a
sure what
mess.
Japanese themes hinted throughout. It's really weird. Like feudal Japan references throughout.
Yeah.
It's really weird. You'll know what I'm
So-
talking about when you see it. But
Anyways, the movie starts off with the family getting attacked by wolves. That's not. It's a spoiler. We're going to talk about it because you shouldn't be watching this.
No.
The family gets attacked by wolves, and it leaves Anna blind,
Anna blind
Helen Keller blind and deaf, which
kills
is how
both
she
of the barons.
kills both the parents, and William gets attacked. And I was very sad that he got attacked because I liked him already.
Because we thought he was dead when
Yeah.
we first see it, but then he comes back and he's fine.
He survived without a scratch, which becomes a theme in this
I
movie.
think it's a gay joke.
It's just he's a great character. Anyways,
He's pretty funny.
so now Helen, Anna, and William are living by themselves after the wolf attack, and yeah, and the rest of the movie is just them dealing with the night wolves.
Yeah, because like there's a sheriff and he's like, "Oh, they'll go away. It's fine," but it's really that he's too scared to face them because he claims he only has 6 bullets and a gun.
So later on, they go to the diner to seek help, and where they find the newest member of their adventure party, whatever you want to call it. I want to say his name was Peter IKEA Furniture.
I thought it was John.
John IKEA Furniture. That's it. Yeah.
His last
So
name was Furniture. I thought it was just John. John
No,
Ikea.
he says that he wants to call the company. He says he wants to start a furniture company. He wants to call after himself. And he's like, "And my name, John IKEA Furniture."
Right, that's the company, John Ikea
No, I
Furniture.
think I think his last name's Furniture.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Anyways, so
Yeah, there's an IKEA joke. There's no reason for it.
it's funny.
Like, oh, it's funny. Yeah, you don't see it.
it
Actually,
caught me
kinda
off guard, and
spoiled it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we kind of ruined that, but oh well.
Again, it's not ruining it because you shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
I feel like concerned parents up
Yeah,
here,
don't.
you know.
No.
But anyways, so then John IKEA
Trains Helen Keller to
fight
fight
these
werewolves
wolves.
because everyone believes she has this very powerful sense of touch / sense.
Now, it is important to note these aren't werewolves.
They're not werewolves.
They're just wolves.
Yeah, they're just wolves that
that
are.
eyes glow and
Think like wolves on rabies.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, then again, we're gonna spoil the movie. Anna dies from another wolf attack, and it leaves Helen, William, and John. And so they get ready to fight the wolves one last time. Helen goes in to find the sheriff and beg for his help. The sheriff says he can't fight the wolves because he's got one gun with 6 bullets, and that's why he can't help.
Yeah.
So she leaves, and she goes and she trains. A really great training montage, I'll say.
Was it though?
I thought it was one of the funnier, stronger points of the movie.
It was funny. Yeah. I don't know, it's just like it's a cliche they've seen so many times. Just
Yeah, but
like,
they were
yeah,
making fun of the cliche, and it kind of worked for me.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
So, anyways, she trains with John. Sword play, how to not let blindness and deafness hinder her. And the wolves come, and they fight the wolves. John dies.
Yeah.
Ellen survives. William survives again. Another one of those moments where he shouldn't have survived. And movie's over.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the movie. But you don't watch this movie for the story. You watch it for the moments, you know.
Now,
not saying that you should go. There's a lot of like one-liners and like jokes spoon with that, and that's what kind of kept the movie going because it was just funny and ridiculous.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some of the good things this movie did.
Sure.
So we're not just going to trash this movie the whole time.
It's not necessarily a bad movie.
Yeah, it had some good actors in it. Now,
yeah,
I think we talked about this before the show, but
yes.
It had some more recognizable actors than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to know their names, but if you look up this movie, just look up the cast on IMDb, you'll recognize a lot of people.
You want to give some names?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember who all was the names. If you're a fan of The Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar The Last Airbender, the actor who plays Boomy, one of Aang's grandchildren, he's in there. He plays the sheriff. The guy who plays John Ikea is named, I think, Barry Bosworth, and he's been in a lot of stuff. He's recognizable. Anna, her sister, has been in a lot of stuff. She was in the movie Coco, the Disney movie.
Okay.
She played the mother in the Afterworld.
Okay.
So there's just a lot of recognizable actors that have been in lots of things you would know.
Okay.
So it had that. Production-wise, it wasn't great, like special effects and everything, but it knew that and it kind of owned up to that.
Yeah, so like the wolves sometimes, like they didn't actually have wolves. They had like films of wolves, but then like whenever they'd actually be in the scene, they'd either be like taxidermy or like stuffed animals.
Yeah, it
or
was
like,
unique.
By stuffed animals, I mean like children's toy stuffed animals. It was kind of funny actually.
The way they filmed this movie, it had random cut-ins with like other footage from other movies and random lines of dialogue that didn't belong.
It was so weird.
It was iconic enough to make me remember it.
It was funny, yeah.
And little scenes that were kind of like subliminal messages almost that popped in for a second and left, like the weird Japanese man going like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then it would cut to him and then cut out for no reason. It made it unique enough to leave an impression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like sometimes like they would mention something and then a quick image of it would pop up and then pop back out.
Yeah. Like Paul Revere was one of the recurring ones.
Yeah, which was, again, weird.
It made no sense, but it wasn't trying to make sense.
No, but that's what held it together, because you never know what to expect next with it.
Yeah.
Even though you knew the movie was going to end with Helen Keller beating up the wolves.
Yeah. I mean...
Somehow.
Yeah, so it was a train wreck of a movie, but a train wreck I kind of enjoyed. I'm right in the middle, I think. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like, it's no Attack of the Killer Donuts, but it's no Velocipaster either. Mm-hmm. It's the middle spectrum.
Do we want to talk about the lawyer ad?
Randomly, about 3/4 of the way through the movie, there's an ad for a fake law company.
No. It's actually... Well, okay. It might be fake, but...
I'm pretty sure it's fake.
I mean, it might be. So the explanation for it is... So right before the lawyer ad... Okay, there's like this intro into a sex scene, okay?
Yeah, they start off and nothing's shown.
Yeah, nothing's shown. They just kind of hop into bed, start kissing, and then this lawyer ad pops in, okay? And then this lawyer ad pops in, and then it goes through, and then St. James Street James pops up, and he's like, you know what? This is the first movie that I've had that doesn't have a sex scene because someone got into a car crash with a truck with all my fog machines. You can't have a sex scene without any fog machines.
Yeah, so that's the reason.
So he had the whole tirade about it. So apparently he said that this lawyer helped him get money back.
Yeah, he got enough money, he decided to put the lawyer in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funniest thing. It was so funny. Like, at first you're like, what is this? Did I...
Yeah.
And then, like, it was so funny. Oh, and then the Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah,
remember
the movie
at the
dedicated in memory of Dale Earnhardt.
Which is like, what? He hasn't mentioned throughout the entire movie.
There's no reference. It's just there.
It's like, what?
Yeah, this movie was a random pile of some good, some bad, some...
It was funny.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so dirty, like, I would totally recommend watching this movie. But because it's so dirty, I just can't.
Yeah, no.
Okay, it is 601.
So let's do our ranking.
Yeah.
Then we should.
First of all, I just want to say that my favorite character was the saxophone guy.
He was good, but William was mine.
I mean, William was pretty good.
All of his one-liners hit
Saxophone
perfectly.
guy is William's lover, gay lover.
Yeah.
Just so you know. And he comes in with a microphone. I'm sorry, not a microphone. A saxophone one scene. It's great.
There's no pretense.
I laughed so hard at that. Sorry. So let's rank our movies real quick. So you want to start?
Yeah. So going best to worst, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go obviously Velocipaster, then Vampire Hunter,
Okay.
then what else is there to rank on this list? I would say then Moose,
Yeah, you had Moose there.
then
You had Spaghetti Man before that originally, I think.
I'd say Moose.
Oh, that's right. You had Guns of the Apocalypse, then Spaghetti Man.
Yeah, and then I would say
We're going to start writing these down.
I'm gonna say Moose. Then I gotta put Helen Keller versus Nightwolves. I enjoyed it enough to rank it above everything else.
Yeah.
Then Spaghetti Man, then Guns of the Apocalypse, then Attack of the Killer Donuts. Obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my ranking.
Okay. So I'll go from best to worst. Best Velocipaster, Spaghetti Man.
Ooh.
I think that's yeah, Spaghetti Man, Vampire Hunter, Moose. Do I want to rank?
I think your choices left are Killer Donuts.
Guns of the Apocalypse,
Ooh.
Helen Keller, Attack of the Killer Donuts. The reason why I have it so low is because of the rewatchability.
Yeah.
I would not it's so it's just I'm never going to watch this movie again because it's just so bad content.
I would go back and watch scenes from it.
Yes,
I would
scenes
pick
from
and
it,
choose
specific scenes. Yes.
Yeah.
But like, I would never watch this movie, and that just like, what's the purpose of it if it's you can't watch it past that?
I would just put it above Guns of the Apocalypse because it was more entertaining.
Yeah, if you take out like the whole like morality, like dirty side of it, I would easily put it above Moose and put it right behind Vampire Hunter. But because
there's just too
I
much
just
in
can't. So unfortunately, St. Street James. I mean, you did it well if that was your intention, and I know it was your intention, but I'm sorry, I gotta leave Jesus in this relationship, if you know what I mean. So I can't. I'm sorry.
Well, you know how we end this show.
That's a good question. How do we end this show?
You can't have sex without a fog machine.
That's true. You can't have sex scenes without a fog machine.
Well,
Good
night, everybody.
I didn't want to go that. Really, you want to? Fine. Good night.
You started it.
How did I start it?
You brought it up.
I mean,
I wasn't going to include.
It was an interesting part of the movie.
It was. I'm just rolling with the punches here.
That's the one. Not like don't put shrooms in coffee.
Don't put shrooms in coffee. That's how we could have ended it. That would have been a lot better.
That would have been a lot better and less cringy.
Well, you know.
All right, but second chances, because
we do love second chances on this show.
Yeah.
So how do we end this show?
I don't know. How do we end this show, Shaner?
Don't put shrooms in coffee.
I mean, if it's healthy, then why not?
Don't.
So I'm going to keep arguing about this. Bye, everyone.
Good night.